The USF Bulls take their show on the road, and we'll meet freshman Amu Saka. All that coming up on the Robert McCullum Show. Welcome into another edition of the Robert McCullum Show. I'm Jim Lighthall, along with the head coach. And time again to talk USF Bulls basketball as the green and gold packed up their away uniforms and made a trip into the real hotbed of college basketball, Louisville, Kentucky. And then they came back home to host Syracuse for their first ever trip into the Sun Dome. And, Coach, this is what the Big East Conference is all about. It's tradition-rich programs and your chance to make a mark against those programs.
Well, it really is. And, of course, we've gone to Louisville now for 3 consecutive years, so we have an idea, firsthand knowledge of how rich their tradition is, the support that they get from their fans. And I think it's worth noting their fans are extremely knowledgeable. To the point to where if an opponent, individual or team-wise, do something well, they're big enough and knowledgeable enough to applaud them. And then we come home and play a Syracuse team that also has a very rich tradition. So you're looking at a team that's been a part of the Big East since its inception in Syracuse, and then a Louisville team that moved to the Big East along with ourselves. So 2 tradition-rich programs, one sort of newcomer and one that's been there from day one. And we also got to see why their programs are so good, have been so good over the years, and why we say they have such rich tradition.
People talk about the Big East Conference and they talk about how physical it is, but, I mean, you got to talk about some of the athletes that are in this league as well.
Well, of course, when you talk about the Big East, its inception was built on basketball. There wasn't the football segment portion of the Big East Conference. So through the years, teams have varied, styles of play have varied, but whatever changes have taken place, the Big East has been able to keep pace and make adjustments.
All right, we'll take a look at all of the action. We'll lead things off with last Saturday's game between USF and Louisville at Freedom Hall when we come back.
Dodge Caliber's versatility and great gas mileage make it perfect for a road trip. All the right features make it even better.
Now, Tampa Bay's favorite newspaper makes it easier to be in the know. More colorful, streamlined pages get you quickly to your favorite news and features, and new Sunday sections about the Bucs, the workplace, and travel, books, and the arts. It's everything you'd expect from one of America's 10 best newspapers, designed with you in mind.
In the know, in the time.
To subscribe, log on to TampaBay.com or call 1-877-THE-TIMES.
Okay, see you later.
Your world of music, now on the new Red Sync. For Valentine's Day, Singular is now the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
The Robert McCullum Show is presented by Canes and Save On Furniture and brought to you in part by CGM Services, Singular Wireless, Coca-Cola, Dodge, Kirby's Menswear, Likes Insurance, and by the St. Petersburg Times.
All right, Coach, time again for the Singular Wireless Fan Question of the Week. This is a good one from Keith from Riverview. 4 games remaining in the regular season. McHugh-Mattis has 98 blocks. What do you think? Do you think he can get to that school record of 108 set by Garrick Morris back in the day? What's your opinion on that one?
Well, it's certainly possible. And to some degree, the teams that you're playing against, that has a little bit to do with it. And, of course, who he's matched up with. And he gets a number of block shots by helping a teammate coming across the lane, blocking shots. And so what you're saying is he has to average 3 blocks per game the rest of the way. And, of course, he's certainly had stretches where he's been above that. The last couple of games he hasn't. But I think it's very, very doable, and I'd love to see him get that record, because when he's blocking 4 or 5 shots per game, obviously it helps us defensively. So I think he's got a very realistic shot to equal or exceed the school's record for a single season.
Top 5 in the country, not bad for a guy that's 6'6". Well, the Bulls got their chance to avenge an 81-55 loss at the Sun Dome on January 10th against Louisville with a trip into Freedom Hall, and it was USF's only win in that building coming back in 1998. Better than 19,000 turned out for the action on Saturday. And, Coach, you guys stay toe-to-toe right here with Louisville in the first few moments, and immediately you take it right down low and attack their big guys.
Well, that was part of our game plan. We felt that with Contrell Gransberry, the presence he gives you, that's the approach to take.
Chris Howard got the first basket there, and then Melvin Buckley immediately drills a 3. And we talked about this all season long. The ability to penetrate, take the ball to the basket has opened things up on the perimeter, especially for Buck.
Well, it really has. And that was one of the rare opportunities you get. I think that probably came off a turnover, and we'd love to see more of those.
You guys got down here at this point as Louisville put together a big spurt. They were really seeing a big basket in the first half, and the three-point shot was really hurting the defense.
Well, it really did, and you allowing teams to go 9 for 12, 75% in one half. Very difficult to win when teams are shooting that well.
A bright spot there at the tail end of the first half, the alley-oop to McHugh-Mattis. You guys were down 30 at the break. Could have folded at that point, but obviously the guys came out and started to whittle at it a little bit in the second half. Melvin Buckley again shoots the shot. Now he's putting the ball on the floor, and in the Big East Conference alone, I mean, he had a good non-conference schedule, but in the Big East, he's really playing well.
He really is. His field goal percentage and three-point field goal percentage are both up. The one difference, he's not getting the easy touches. He's not getting as many shots, and hopefully that's something that we can get him more shots in these. We're going to the last 4 games.
Solomon Bozeman getting in the act there with a three-point shot. And Chris Howard had himself a career high in this game with 11 points. And again, his ability to gain more confidence, and he seems to be very healthy on the floor too. That's got to be encouraging.
Well, he's playing about as well as could be expected from a physical standpoint. We're talking about a player that hasn't played organized basketball in over 2.5 years and still a freshman. So we have to be mindful when we look at his stats or what perhaps we'd like to see him do better. 83-63, there's the final score. 50-10 on the bench points, but Melvin Buckley did lead you with 16. Contrell Gransberry had 6. He was battling some foul trouble in this one. Howard, in addition to his points, had 6 assists, and McHugh-Mattis, speaking of the devil, had a couple of blocks in that contest there. So the amazing thing about the Cardinals, though, is they hadn't shot the ball worth a lick against anybody prior to this game. Then they absolutely break out. Well, I guess they, for some reason, like seeing us. Of course, of our 3 trips to Louisville during our tenure here, that was clearly our worst performance. The previous 2 years, we lost by single digits. Last year by 3, the previous year by 9, the Final Four year. But after watching Louisville play an outstanding Pitt team on the road just past Monday, it actually didn't feel quite as bad because they went in there and shot the ball extremely well and just really took Pitt out of what they were trying to do offensively. And the final margin being 13 points, but it wasn't nearly as close as the score indicated. And that's just, I think, gives you an idea how well Louisville's playing.
Well, things don't get any easier for the Bulls. They return home for a Valentine's Day showdown with the Syracuse Orange. We'll have a complete recap right after this.
When it's time to cool off the competition, the USF Bulls rely on CGM Services air conditioning and heating. Call CGM Services today and ask about the Carrier Infinity System, the world's best air conditioning system. The Infinity System takes indoor comfort to a new performance level. So when you want quality service and long-lasting Carrier products, be cool like a bull and turn to the experts. Call Mike Charles or another CGM teammate at 813-AIR-COOL. CGM Services, proud sponsor of USF Athletics.
Hello? It's for you.
Important announcement from the president of Kane's Furniture. Now through President's Day, I'm authorizing a store-wide sale only a president could hold. Get this microfiber plus sofa for just $5.99. Save $100 on this 3-piece queen faux leather bed, just $2.99. Plus pay no interest till 2011. I'm reducing Kane's low prices through President's Day only. But shh, don't tell the First Lady. Biggest selection, lowest prices, Kane's.
Welcome back. I'm Jim Lighthall along with the coach, and we've already covered the Bulls and the Louisville Cardinals from last Saturday. So now let's shift gears to the Sundome in Tampa. That's where the Bulls were busy entertaining the Syracuse Orange on Wednesday night. USF entered this game looking for their first ever win against Jim Boeheim's team. About 6,000 in attendance at the Sundome, coach, and right away Solomon Bozeman gets them active with a three-pointer in the corner.
We did just what we hoped he would give us by inserting him into the starting lineup.
Melvin Buckley with a little mid-range jumper there, and they opened in that patented 2-3 zone exactly like you knew they would. But you moved the zone a little bit, got some entry passes like that one into Kentrell Gransberry.
We did. Just we handled the zone actually better in the first half than the second half.
And you did a good job getting the ball inside, really, until later in the game when Kentrell took a flying elbow, and it seemed like the entire complex of the game changed.
Well, just a possession, a couple of possessions ago, where we got the ball to short corner underneath the zone, drew the defense, and then kicked the ball to Kentrell diving to the basket. Just good action. Unfortunately, just inconsistent in that type of execution.
Right there, he shows one of the reasons why he's one of the leading rebounders in the league. Just happened to be in the right place at the right time on that one. But you guys got to the offensive glass early in the game, too, and kept some possessions alive. We
did, and they mixed their defenses more. And, of course, when they went to man-to-man, we sort of executed extremely well, almost had our way. And, of course, the second half, all we saw was 2-3 zone, and unfortunately, we just didn't execute well against it.
This was a really close game. In fact, it was a one-point game at the half, and then Syracuse started to open things up a little bit in the second half. They went back to that 2-3 zone in the second half, and, boy, it just seemed like offensively you couldn't get anything inside.
Well, we really had trouble getting the basketball inside. We just sort of went away for some reason from the things we were doing in the first half.
And Kentrell Gransberry, as mentioned, took an elbow in the eye, and he was in and out of the lineup. Only played 29 minutes that night because of the cut. He was bleeding constantly, but there's a bright spot. Somebody that came in for you is Ron Camp.
Well, I thought his first game he's played since December of 2005, played 11 minutes. Really happy for him, and just a glimpse of how talented he is, and it's unfortunate that his career has been limited by knee injuries.
The folks in the Bay Area know all about that Brandon High School product. He was one of the best players in the state when he came out of high school. That knee injury has really slowed him down, but he saw some action. He got some scoring inside, and it opened things up for Buckley late, but a 20-4 run by Syracuse down the stretch put it away, 70-53. They win the rebounding war. They outshoot you. They win the points in the paint, and I mean, that's a recipe for how a team wins a game right there.
Well, it really is. Of course, we felt good about the way we played the first half, only being down one. And we came out of the locker room and got off to a good start in the second half, but this sort of hit a wall there after the score was about 42-40. And a couple of turnovers, they capitalized on both. And it was around that same stretch that Kentrell took the elbow that required stitches. I might add, in addition to that, he also was limited by the ankle injury, and of course, it's one of the few times you see him asked to come out of the game as often as he did last night, and that was prior to the elbow that required stitches. It had to do with his ankle more so than fatigue, and that's just another reason why he was limited to only 29 minutes.
Tough kid, though. Gave you a double-double. Had a double-double in the first half, in fact. Well, I guess when you get this deep into the season, they say freshmen aren't really freshmen anymore. We're talking about 26 games into his rookie year. Amu Saka has won over his teammates and the coaching staff with his fearless attitude. We'll meet him when we come back.
It's not my job. I don't care. I just can't help you. I don't have the time. That's exactly what involvement isn't. Get involved. Like's Insurance. We leave nothing to chance.
Now, Tampa Bay's favorite newspaper makes it easier to be in the know. More colorful, streamlined pages get you quickly to your favorite news and features. And new Sunday sections about the Bucs, the workplace, and travel, books, and the arts. It's everything you'd expect from one of America's 10 best newspapers, designed with you in mind.
In the know, in the time.
To subscribe, log on to TampaBay.com or call 1-877-THE-TIMES.
Dodge Caliber's versatility and great gas mileage make it perfect for a road trip. With all the right features, make it even better.
There's no greater satisfaction in life than doing for others. Being a mentor might just fill the bill for you. Don't know where to start? Call us. It would be our privilege to assist. Like's Insurance. We leave nothing to chance.
Before the break, we told you a little about Amu Saka, the 6'6" freshman out of Decatur, Georgia. He's a young man that has a pretty nice touch from the perimeter, but isn't afraid to mix it up down low either. And after leading his high school team to a 32-1 record in a Georgia State championship, Amu climbed in the car, traveled 450 miles south to Tampa, and he's adjusting to the college game and to the college lifestyle.
This week's Player's Profile is brought to you by the St. Petersburg Times.
It's had its ups and downs, you know. Just trying to concentrate on basketball in school. It's like try to get that balance throughout the day. It's like not enough hours in the day, but slowly but surely I'm really figuring it out. Basketball is becoming like I'm starting to get it more towards the end of the season.
Amu Saka is playing a key role for the Bulls, coming off the bench and adding a spark to the team with his athleticism during his freshman season. Amu was drawn to USF because of the facilities and a chance to compete in the Big East.
The top players out of the country want to play in the Big East, and it's lived up to the hype for me. And playing against the big names you heard about in high school, you just got to come out ready to play. It really elevates my game, I think. I actually like the town itself, Tampa. It's not too far. I'm about 6 hours away from where I live in Georgia. Not too far, not too close. So my parents can't come run down on me every other day. But the school, I love the facilities and everything. The basketball program, it's on its way up, and I want to be a part of that.
Adjusting to college can be a tough task. And with just 4 games left in the regular season, the game is starting to slow down for Amu, and he feels that was especially apparent in the Bulls' win against Notre Dame.
Just in the flow of it, where got a chance to knock off a top-ranked team. It's like, wow, I'm here. This is stuff I see on TV. Now I'm a part of it. It really was an eye-opener for me.
Nice finish there out of the freshman. Coach, I didn't recognize him. He had hair back in that piece. He shaved it all off this week. But, boy, he's really given you some valuable minutes this year.
He really has. And behind the scenes, he's battled quite a few injuries as well, from hip pointers to badly sprained ankles. But no one works harder to bounce back from injuries as Amu does. Great attitude, and I think if one were to talk to our players and staff, he's easily quickly become one of the team's most popular, most well-liked players. Just a great kid, and I anticipate next year he'll put on, add 10, 15 pounds, and if he's playing at 205, 210, a lot stronger, it's really going to elevate his game and obviously make our team a lot better.
Pretty tough kid as well. One of 4 kids. You got to be tough in that scenario. All right, coming up next, the Coach's Corner feature, our first chance to hear from the newest member of the coaching staff. Assistant coach Charles Cunningham will work with the wing players as they go through drills that emphasize spreading the floor to create easy baskets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
When it's time to cool off the competition, the USF Bulls rely on CGM Services air conditioning and heating. Call CGM Services today and ask about the Carrier Infinity System, the world's best air conditioning system. The Infinity System takes indoor comfort to a new performance level. So when you want quality service and long-lasting Carrier products, be cool like a bull and turn to the experts. Call Mike Charles or another CGM teammate at 813-AIR-COOL. CGM Services, proud sponsor of USF Athletics.
Now, Tampa Bay's favorite newspaper makes it easier to be in the know. More colorful, streamlined pages get you quickly to your favorite news and features, and new Sunday sections about the Bucs, the workplace, and travel, books, and the arts. It's everything you'd expect from one of America's 10 best newspapers, designed with you in mind.
In the know, in the time.
To subscribe, log on to TampaBay.com or call 1-877-THE-TIMES.
Here's this week's Coach's Corner.
Hi, welcome back to the Robert McCullum Show. I'm Assistant Coach Charles Cunningham, and today we'll be talking about the wings running the floor. We talked about the wings are wide. Now they draw the defense and supposed to make the defender come take him and should have an open guy. This is a kind of a perfect situation. You're out 3-on-2. The offense outnumbers the defense, and that's what you hope to get when the wings run the floor hard. It's one thing in basketball that you can do. It doesn't require a specific talent. You just run as hard and as fast as you can from one end of the court to the other. We'll be talking about offensive running the wings. And the thing the guy does, 3 things he has to do. 1, take off and run as fast as he can. 2, get wide. And 3, once he gets down on the other end of the court, get to the foul line extended, cut, and go to the basket. And we'll be talking about once he gets to the basket, he can cross or post up. Hopefully, we can hit him for a layup. One of the reasons, the purpose for running the wing is to hopefully get an easy basket. And if he doesn't get a layup, then it catches the ball on the wing and make an offensive play with the court open. And as many opportunities as you can play 1-on-1 against fewer people or 2-on-2 as opposed to 5-on-5, it increases your opportunities or your chances of scoring. One of the things that you talk about in basketball, and the term is easy baskets. And you're always trying to get easy baskets. Those are baskets that you don't have to score against the opposition's set defense. And hopefully, running the wing, you look at it this way. If a team is averaging 65 points a game and you have 2 wings that are running, if each of those wings get 2 baskets a half, then you got there's 2 baskets a half, then you have some points that they didn't have to play against the defense that you've scored. Thank you for your continued support of Bulls basketball. We look forward to seeing you out at the Sundome soon.
Coach, with so many teams in the Big East that apply pressure, even in the full court or the half-court variety, that's so important right there. Getting out in transition, creating mismatches. You get behind that pressure, you got 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s.
Well, you really do, and we can just take a game against Syracuse as an example. Ideally, one of the best ways to attack a zone defense is to beat it down the floor before the zone can get set. Unfortunately, we've done such a poor job of taking care of the basketball. We sort of pulled in the reins a little bit, if you will, sort of trading that that opportunity to make sure we take better care of the basketball, and we did. We only turned it over 13 times, but in the process, we probably gave up some opportunities to really run out and transition.
Now the Bulls' fight to get to Madison Square Garden for the Big East tournament continues with a huge game this week at the Sun Dome, the first of a couple of meetings in a span of 14 days. We'll be back to break down the DePaul Blue Demons.
Dodge Caliber's versatility and great gas mileage make it perfect for a road trip. All the right features make it even better.
Hello? It's for you.
I describe myself as well-rounded. I'm passionate about long walks on the beach, movies. I love working out. Basically, I'm looking to find a perfect 10. Someone just like me.
The Florida Lottery just made Fantasy 5 and Easy Match better together than ever. For a limited time only, there are $1,000 top prizes and double the number of $100 winners.
I always knew I'd meet a winner.
The Robert McCullum Show has been presented by Canes and Save On Furniture and brought to you in part by CGM Services, Singular Wireless, Coca-Cola, Dodge, Kirby's Menswear, Likes Insurance, and by the St. Petersburg Times.
Coach, there's a look at those Big East standings, and there's still some ground to make up, but you do control your own destiny as you try to get yourself to Madison Square Garden. Games against teams that are right there in the fight with you to get to MSG. And you're going to see one of those teams twice in the next couple of weeks. We're talking about the DePaul Blue Demons.
The Scouting Report is brought to you by Dodge.
Well, Coach, this bunch from DePaul is Jekyll and Hyde. You just don't know what you're going to get every night.
Well, I certainly can make a case for that. They're a team that I think is very talented, very experienced, and they have all the ingredients that you look for. They've got size, they've got depth, experience. They can really score the basketball, although they're not averaging very many points in conference play, but yet on any given night they're capable of beating anyone in the country, as evidenced by their impressive win in the early season over an outstanding Kansas team, the game after Kansas gave Florida their first loss of the season. Very good off the dribble, which is the most difficult thing to defend in the game of basketball. So we know we'll have our hands full, and we've got to be able to score points and defend the dribble, and hopefully they won't shoot the ball real well from the outside as they're making less than 30% of their threes.
That'll be Saturday night at 7 o'clock at the Sun Dome, and this series has really been streaky. They won the first 9 meetings, then the Bulls turned around and won the next 4. DePaul has now reeled off 3 in a row, but time for the Bulls to start a new streak, Coach.
Well, it's not a better time to start than this Saturday. If we're going to give ourselves a realistic chance to make it to New York, then this game Saturday is one that we have to have.
Best of luck, and we'll recap that game and more next week on the Robert McCullum Show.